So you're here with Truthzilla. We have a great guest tonight, Chaney, who kind of jumped in and just rocked our world as usual. So and she's been kind of MIA for a little bit. So we got the pleasure of being the podcast that she shows up on it and just schooled us on a whole bunch of magic and you'll see. So
Maybe some rabbit holes to go down later.
Definitely. So in the meantime, you guys, please come check us out on rockfin.com/Truthzilla. Sign up for a free account. We get crypto just for your clicks. You can register for a monthly membership. You get premium access to everything on the whole site, including us, Sam Tripoli, Whitney Webb, Charlie Robinson, the whole gang. All the people you love, all the people we love. And made us over on Patreon, patreon.com/Truthzilla. We're going to have all kinds of bonus audio going on up there. So great way to support the show. And, of course, truthzilla.org/shirts to get all your awesome Truthzilla apparel. Do I have one on today? No, I got my Alex Jones shirt on.
I got a new one. I'll wear it next time.
Oh, yeah, he's got a new one. Yeah. So, check us out, guys. Anyway, thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome to Truthzilla. I am Megan, sitting here with Scott and Ed. Today I'm super excited that we get to talk to our lovely friend Chaney. Hi, Chaney.
What's up?
Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
How are you? What have you been up to?
I went to see Donald Trump in Palm Beach.
Wow.
How was it?
I went to see our president in Palm Beach.
Yep.
I saw that.
It was pretty fantastic. I observed more than I took part, but it felt good. It was good to see. It made me cry a few times.
Oh.
Yeah. Man, intense, dude.
Yeah, intense. Yeah, I saw some of the pictures that you posted, or like a little bit of the footage, and I was especially crying about your blue skies, but also.
Oh, you guys, it's so hot here today. It was hot. When I got out of my car, my shirt was stuck to my back hot.
Oh my God. What was the temperature wise? What are we talking?
I mean, 82,
oh my
83.
gosh.
Is it super humid? Is that the deal there too, or is it?
It gets really huge. I mean, It's Portland, it's over Portland or Oregon, and Oregon's pretty humid of a place, but
interesting.
It's swampy.
Yeah.
It's swampy. You got to be comfortable with your skin sticking to itself when mosquitoes live in Florida.
Oh, the mosquito factor. Yeah, that's an intense one. I don't know. It's definitely on the list, man. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do, if we're just going to stay and fight here in Oregon. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm not.
We're entrenching ourselves, that's for sure. We're building community and we're gathering resources. But man, oh man,
I'm getting the fuck out of here as soon as I can.
Yeah.
I'm not staying. I can't. No, especially not in the valley. I've outgrown it here so much. So the weather in particular beats me down and sucks my life away. Yeah. I don't thrive here, and you know what? Every summer, I mean, it seems like I was here for 10 years. When I was 10, I moved here. So I was here from till I was 10 till I was 20. So I kind of was familiar with it. And then from the time I was 20 till I was 30, I was in California. And then, when I was around 30, 31, I came back, and it's been about 10 years now. And I'm just every single year, especially as an adult, I say in the wintertime, I don't think I can survive. It's
to be fair though, every Oregonian says
it's rough. It's really rough to not have any sun, to not have any. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people they bundle up here and they're out there in their North Face, Columbia coats, and they're out there trenching it through. But that is just not for me at all. But as I see the decline of my mental state and just how unhappy I am, 9 to 10 months of the year, it's horrible. It's horrible. We get a little bit of spring, we get a little bit of fall, but mostly it's just wet and it's gray and it's awful. And then we get these bright sunshine days where I'm always at the ocean, I'm always in the river. Sure. And I think, I'm never leaving. I'm going to stay here forever. But it's only those couple months of the year, and the rest of the time I'm just and I think that just that the whole climate and ideology here has just, I'm so turned off. I just don't thrive here at all. So I keep Googling. I keep getting back on Google. Where did Chaney say she lives? Oh, yeah, right. So if I went, it's a 5-day drive. And I'm can I put 3 of my kids who I have a hard time driving to Portland with my kids in the car because they won't stop. But I'm okay, I can do it for 5 days, right? I put the kids in the car, find Airbnbs all along the way. Yeah, Chaney said it's 80 degrees.
Yeah, and I've went so far as to look at the reciprocity in Florida, see if the the certification that I need to do the type of work I do, like if I could take what I have in Oregon and move it over there and have it work, and it seems to be okay. It seems like it's like a 1-for-1 thing. There's some states like Texas where you actually have to go and get a degree, and it's like, I don't want to do all that, right? But like, so anyway, yeah, no, definitely Florida, man. I've been looking at Florida for sure.
Well, certainly their laws are much better than ours. But
Yeah.
I got one question for you, Chaney, because I know if I was in Florida right now, I would be looking forward to what's going on in Texas here in a couple of weeks. Float Fest. Are you going to Float Fest?
No, you guys, I'm still iffy on Texas. It feels like Portlandy to me. It feels like there's something a little hipster with Texas that Florida doesn't. Florida has its cities. Miami's not all great. Orlando's not all great. But overall, and everything you said about when Oregon, I keep saying Portland just because I live there. When Oregon's good, there is no place better on the planet.
Certainly.
Like when it's good, like when you're in the mountains or camping or just, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, the beauty there. It's just, I can't imagine, like, I'm so depleted here right now with sunshine. I can go to the beach. I'm so like, I can't imagine, like, you guys didn't get your summer this year to do any of the stuff that makes Oregon awesome. And, and you're all in your prison cell and outside is gloom, doom.
And freezing
it's
cold.
Just too much. It's too much. It's like the one time you didn't get your fill up, you're like, everybody in the country needs their fill up. So it's like for Oregonians, you don't even get it's like, you don't even really get the white of snow. Like, I mean, everywhere's snowing right now, but it's not a normal. It's not a normal that it's just like, it's just rain and I don't know.
Yeah,
it is.
And it's what you said, too. It's like there's no outlet right now. Like normally this time of year, I'm taking my kids to the gymnastics place all the time.
Right.
And all those places are closed. I can't go to the gym. We just found a gym. So we're going to.
But it's not for our kids. But it's same,
for
like,
us,
ballet or gymnastics or like, the indoor bounce house. But like, at least we would take them to do something indoors and let some energy out of them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to put my kids in the car and drive for 5 days, though, I think.
And gyms, people would normally gym. Like, that was a very Portland thing or Oregon thing to do for me. It was go to the gym. I did float tanks a lot when I lived there. I was always in float tanks. I don't know what I would have done during off season to get through. And so everything's like, I can't even imagine. And you're in communist China there.
Totally.
It totally is. It's awful.
100%. So,
like, no matter how much I try to think of how bad it is, I still can't fathom, because around here there's still, life. I mean, it's not busy life, and you still have to wear masks for things. Like, my normal existence would have to be masks, but I'm not doing it. So
yeah. So and how is it there though? Like, so people are masked, but like, can you go into a business and use the I have a disability excuse and just.
Oh no, I've never worn a mask one time. Like, I don't wear a mask, and there's a lot of people that don't. Right now, it just feels extra masky because of all the New Englanders that come down.
But they'll let you like buy groceries and stuff if you're not masked.
Oh yeah,
really?
You guys, I really thought this today. My avatar that I chose during Earth Game simulation this time around, it had, all of our avatars have pluses and minuses, and my plus is that I blow because people see me and they think she's one of us. She must have forgot her mask. Yeah. Like, it doesn't, the way I look to them is so they can't. My wife is very fit. She looks like a straight lady. They go at her. They walk behind her. They're talking in their thing the whole time. It's just like, I mean, I also feel like I go in like, say something to me. Bring it. Like, I'm just let my, like,
totally.
But no one's ever said anything.
Well, so how does she handle that? Do they force her to put one on then, or won't let her shop? Really?
They just like keeps walking and just keeps shopping, and she's like, I'm not sick.
Yeah,
like, she doesn't. Because if you even buy into that, you need an exemption card. You have to admit you're sick.
Right.
It's like, no, I'm not sick. It's almost the same as medical marijuana. Everybody had to admit they were chronically sick. They took an oath to admit they were chronically sick, which I believe in, like, all this high magic shit now. So I think when you sign your name on something and admit you're chronically sick, it's like something must happen. There must be an alchemy there.
Yeah, I totally think you're on point with that too.
And look at Oregon with all their drugs. Like, I know mushrooms are fun times, but they are also not fun times sometimes. Like that, you could be having a bad day, especially an Oregon bad day, and it might go off for you right now. I don't know.
Well, I
just don't.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you.
No, there's no interrupt. I'm like always like a run-on sentence of, and then it's like we'll start here and I'll end up in like 3 towns away that I'm like, what am I doing here?
3 towns away. I love it. Well, I was struggling so hard with just the depression got really, really bad. And I have not, I mean, for me, they're great coping mechanisms, but for people around me, they're not the best coping mechanisms. And I try to like have balance with that. So as, I'm such a big advocate of like psychedelics for like healing, and it helped my memory and all these things when I've had like a lot of issues in my life, but I've never actually microdosed like as a way to like kind of, I'm taking these vitamins, I'm, trying to eat living foods. I mean, a lot of greens, a lot of fruits, and I just feel like shit. And I was just like, whatever, about 2.5 weeks ago, I was messaging a buddy that I know microdoses, and I was just like, can we talk about this? Because I'm not doing well. I'm not doing well, and I want you to tell me about your experience. I talked to another buddy, same experience, talked to a couple girlfriends. They told me, and I'm like, listen, I want to try it. So I got all hooked up to do it, tiny dosages, and the only reason why I actually backed off is because I kind of started breaking out, which is kind of a vanity thing for me. But I was like, why is this happening to my skin? Well, I was feeling good, feeling more elevated, but then I'm like, is my body trying to kick it off because it is what it is? And I also was like taking high dosages of like, Rick Simpson oil at night just to help level it out and help me sleep. But it was night and day, like within probably an hour. And it's not like I don't drink coffee, but I have had coffee in the past. I know how that feels to get like a buzz or to kind of feel elevated, and it wasn't elevated in that way. But what I told him was that I said, it literally feels like what I did was that somebody bottled vitamin D and I drank it, and I can feel it in my body, like rejuvenating me. I feel more like vibrant. I feel more focused. I feel more like I'm not dreading to go do my day. But it wasn't so up like, in the past where like after my mother died and they put me on Adderall, you know what I mean? Like that kind of up. It's not like a druggy up, you know what I mean? But it was more just like I felt like I feel when I've been with my skin exposed in a bikini, all summer long at the water's edge. But then, like I say, then my skin started to take a turn for the worse. And I was like, oh shit, I just can't freaking get a break here. So I'm just like, I'll wait for my skin to clear up, and then I'm going to go back. It's going to be like a give and take. I'll figure it out. But anyway.
Interesting.
No, I loved it. I totally, during this, I don't even remember what month it was. Maybe December, I did a microdose, little bit of time, and I just felt like, whoa, I am feeling myself.
You felt good?
It was like almost too much.
Oh, really?
Like, damn, I'm feeling myself. And it was almost like afterward, like real life, I'm like, oh, I can't feel myself this much. Like, but it was, I did DMT, and then I went on a microdose run to like, and then, yeah, I don't think I ever came back. It was definitely one of my deaths. Before I went to DC, it was definitely one of my, I think about it still. I'm like, did I die that day? Because this life is so different than the life I feel like I did have.
Yep, totally.
Did you help map the DMT realm while you were over there?
I was God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's
I was God.
That's amazing. That's one of the things, like one of my reservations, right? Because I'm in recovery. I don't do any sort of things like that. You know what I mean? It's like, but I have done a lot. You know what I mean? And it's like, I out of all the stuff that I was addicted to or abused and used, like the one thing that gets me is the psychedelics. Like that's the one thing that I crave. Like freaking meth, alcohol. Like I'm just like, yeah, dude, I'm good on all that shit, dude. But like, it's the psychedelics, man, that get me. But it's like for me, it's like once I open that door, I don't know where it's gonna lead. And the big one is like DMT. It's like, damn it, I never got to try DMT. Damn it. And so that's one of those like big reservation. So it's like, oh boy.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with anyone's sobriety, but it does not seem like something you could get addicted to.
Yeah.
It is so much. But I also
I had friends that were totally addicted, so
yeah. Yeah.
But
oh, go ahead.
anyways, but I mean, I feel like I've done my time. I've unlocked things. Like I think it's a part of my journey that I'm glad I went through. Right? Like, but I'm good. I feel like I've opened those pathways in my brain. So.
I'm only a baby a very baby at opening those pathways in my brain. I am nowhere near done.
Here we go.
But also we have had different effects, you know. Right. You know what I mean?
I'm just afraid. Yeah. See, you're not gonna do a bunch of.
I like to get like a certain level of what I like to say sparkly. I like to roll at a certain level and leave it there, and then I'm good to not do it again until I'm ready to do it again. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to keep getting higher and higher. I keep having DMT like offered to me. It seems like the more people that I meet that know that I really like adore psychedelics will like offer that, or it's available to me, and I don't know that that's for me. It makes me worried to think about.
It is like the first time I did it was I thought I died. I thought I did then, and I did not heroic dose at all. And I knew exactly what I was getting into this time, and I knew why I sat down. It was a decade later almost. Like I only did it twice in my whole life, and I was alone, but I knew what I was doing. Like I was well aware it was about to happen. Yeah. I thought I was, but I really died. And I replay it even now, like just the human part before all the like travel to God part. And it's so intense. Like it's such an intense where I even remember thinking like, I just died. Like, because you breathe in and you hold it and then you don't really breathe out again. It's you do, but you're not there for 20 minutes.
Yeah, totally. That's what I keep hearing described, and like the whole spiritual interaction, that being the God molecule. And like when I hear people talk about like these spiritual interactions they're having with these like entities or presence, and I'm just like, I mean, everybody has to do what's right for their own selves. You know what I mean? Like it's cool. I think it's intense to think about, and it's intriguing. And also I think it's more than, it's a door that I don't think that I'm personally comfortable opening, at least not at this point in my life, but it intrigues me. Every time it's in front of me, I'm like, should I? Like I kind of want to have like an all-day trip that lasts 20 minutes, like a little bit, but I don't know.
It is like the first time I felt, now to put it all into words with all the stuff that I know, I feel like the first time I hung out with ether, like I just got to sit above my flesh and like see it. And it felt like a mother. Like it was so warm. And, it was so like just caring and like nurturing and like patty on the heady with my silly questions and just humored me. Wow. The second time was like, I felt like it wanted to play with me. It was like siren-y, like, come on. Like it was like, like it just felt like sexy, like it wanted to play like that. And I kind of felt like I was like, I want the real. Like I felt like that in my head, like I don't have any time to play, I'm not here for this. Right. And it was just like darkness, like not even darkness, just nothing. Like wow. I'm in nothing, I'm in fucking nothing, like the feeling of nothing. And I was so angry, like fucking angry. I know people that I've talked to, they're like, I cried there. And I'm like, I cried, I guess, but I more so just was wretched. Like I was so mad. And I felt like you needed so much love. But when I pushed myself out of it, I was God. I was like, holy shit. I was so tall. I felt taller than my roof. And I actually did this. Like when I replay what my body did, like standing, I'm like, oh my God, what a weirdo. One of my neighbors was like, what is this lady doing?
I love it. I
had a Jedi robe on in my backyard with like bear slippers.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Whoa.
The craziest experience. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's and awesome. It was totally, I didn't plan on it. It blew my mind. And I don't know, but this has been I feel like I'm in waking life. Mm-hmm. I feel like we're living in this dream world.
Yes.
And I know it's malleable. I know we can control it, but they obviously know we can control it too. And look at everything they're doing right now to try to make us not realize it.
Right.
Like it's a mind fuck.
Totally.
That's all it is. It's one continuous, like that's what the simulation is. It's just literally a fucking mind fuck, dude, or the Matrix, or whatever you want to call it, dude. It's just, it's become so, like there's no escaping it, man. But like,
it's such a life suck now that we're aware of it.
Yeah.
It's such
like, blah, blah.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't even know.
That's what my Jamaican friend said. That's how you break the Matrix. Is you just like do shit that you would have done when you were 9. Like
there you go.
That where you're not supposed to do that in a convo. I'm not supposed to yell Jamaican gun salute on your podcast right now.
I love it.
No.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I love
No,
it.
it's fantastic.
That's the name of the episode, Jamaican gun salute right there. That's it.
Okay, I got it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Man.
So you're in Florida where it's 80 some degrees, and over in Texas we're having this storm that's covering
I don't want to look at the real temp.
like literally like Texas is like totally shut down right now, right?
Can you see my temperature?
Oh,
75.
God. I
Oh, my
love it. I love
gosh.
it. So on it. But so
What's our temperature here, Scott?
Oh God, probably like 40.
Yeah, it's totally
It's not as warm as what
Wet.
40 sounds like, let me tell you. 40 sounds like it might be a tiny bit like warmish. It's not warmish at all. It's freezing.
It's not.
Yeah.
40
It's
is the
freezing
worst.
fucking cold, and it's been pouring down rain everything's soaking wet. It's awful. Yeah. It's awful. I'm sorry.
I like to
it's
stay in the
beautiful here
60s.
though.
I'm a 60s to, I don't mind. I can sit to like 100 degrees on the porch and be totally fine. Like I'm just like, whatever, I'm soaked and I can move on with my life.
Yeah.
But I do not like cold weather at all. I never liked it. I went to college in Michigan. I lived in Oregon. I'm like, not a fan.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
So what's your take on this climate change we're seeing around the country right now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I know there's a lot of real of it. I think it's weather control. I think it's Chinese weather control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, I think we all a bunch of red flags went off for all of us when it happened, right? Like, it just feels like the fires we just went through in Oregon and California, and they saw in Australia, and it feels like, for me, it feels like it falls right in line with what the World Economic Forum is saying. You know, like they're talking about like maybe an EMP attack or something that like's going to take out the grid, and here we have Texas that they're saying, you know, oh, we might not have power again for a full month after this. You know, like our grid can't take it. You know, and it's just leading us all in the same direction. It's just agenda.
Yeah, they're rolling it out full blast, dude. They had a 4-year hiatus where the plan couldn't get rolled out. And now all of a sudden, dude, it's like, here we go. Bam.
Trying to make up for lost time.
Yeah, they're making up for lost time, man. They're behind schedule 4 years, you know.
Yeah.
Did you see?
I don't even buy it. I don't even believe any of it. Donald Trump's still my president.
Okay.
I can't even get down with any of it. He's my president.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't believe in it. I feel like I think it's the 20th on 2/20. Sidney Powell has, or is it tomorrow? Is it the 19th? But it's Sidney Powell has 2 cases. Lynn Wood has a case. They're all going through still. Like all this charade. I do not even believe that inauguration happened on that day. I think that was a televised shim-sham. Yep. And I think that the White House may be being dug up right now. Something's going on at the White House. That could be a tunnel entrance as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what's happening at the White House, but they have a fence all the way around it. So if you do any research on Mar-a-Lago, it's the it's the Southern White House. You guys should totally geek out and look into it. Donald Trump bought it. It has like 3 military bunkers in it, missile bunkers. So if you even drive by it, another weird QAnon thing is they always say red castle, green castle all the time. It's a big red castle. It's a big, huge coral red castle. And it feels so much better to say red castle than White House.
Yeah.
White House is bullshit. I want my president to live in a red castle. That
Hell
feels good to me.
Yes.
I want my president to open and look out at the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
That feels right to me. I want it to be in Florida. That's where it should be.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't like Washington. It's not even part of our United States at all. Do research on Washington, D.C. It has nothing to do with our United States. So there's this military stand down on a foreign nation right now. It just happens to be surrounded by our 5th United States. But everybody, I know what the news is saying. I know it feels so hard to believe me. And I have literally lost so many friends for still feeling this way. And people think it's about Donald Trump and people think it's about QAnon, but it's really just about there has to be some faith in each other that we have, like restored. Yeah. So I like quantumly, if we believe everything's Ouroboros, there has to be a point. Like even if we all decided to come back here and save the world this timeline, like we're all like, let's go and play Earth. And they're like, what? Earth's the hardest game. Like, you don't remember that you're God at all. You lose all sense that you're special. Let's play it. It'll be a blast.
Yeah.
And so we come down this timeline and we lose every time. We've played this 10,000 times. We always lose. we have to have some point where we remember in history that we all remembered. Donald Trump is that thing. He's so weird. He's been in our whole lifetimes. Like, he's been here. And so it feels weird that it's a reality show star. But all he did by stepping into the reality show of DC is LARP. Like, everybody always talks about all for a LARP. Live action role playing is one of the biggest sorceries you can do. If you ever look into any, like, Game of Thrones, even silly things, they always carve little figures and put them on the battlefield. Beetlejuice, houses, that is manifestation, like, bigger than cutting out a vision board. You're literally carving and putting intention in every little figure you're putting on your battlefield, and then you're playing out the battle. That's it's witchcraft. It's all witchcraft. And so for me, I think everything with Dodge, everything with Bitcoin, everything is that's the one world currency. You're never going to know you're taking part. You're going to run right into it and get rid of all your physical dollar is just like an agreement, and it's a spell, and we agree that it's worth something, and it is. That's real alchemy. But gold and silver and precious metals are conductive, and conductive metals can have spells put on them. So when you think of old knights, I bet there weren't even people in those things. I think you could probably even take a cadaver and put a bunch of metal on it, and a witch could and then make it walk. So I just think they're trying to do that to us. The more metals they can put into us, whether it's our teeth, our fillings, our vaccines, our deodorant, then they can run spells on us. I think it's sorcery versus science, and they're not telling us any of the magic, but it's real. We all know we're connected. We have these synchronicities. We have these constantly. Like, all the things they told us in kindergarten are all the worst wrong things. Do you believe you only have 5 senses? Like, do you really believe you have 5 senses?
Right.
So for me, the reason Florida's free right now is the same reason Portland doesn't salt their roads, is because metal rusts. And everything in our whole town on the seaboard is like, when they try to put these metals in us, I think rusted metal expels out of your body. So I think in Oregon, every single place, I really believe, everywhere they tell you the water is delicious, that's where they're fucking doing the most shit. Yeah. Fluoride is not, like, fluoride's probably the least of your concerns if you know about it. That's how I feel about 5G. That's how I feel about the Tiger King. Anything, that's how I feel about Bernie and his mittens. Anything they tell you is viral, that is not the thing. They're doing a ritual to you. Bernie is the same as Burning Man. They run all their rituals. So I think all that stuff is like barracuda, and I don't pay attention to it. I try not to give energy to it. And if you would have told me a year ago, Chaney, you're going to believe in magic and spells and sorcery and sages and mages, and the word maga means witch. Like, what? Everything's Latin. It all leads back to Greece. And now I'm like, all right, you guys, we have to figure out magic. It's not about the guns. Guns are precious metal. Like, they're lead. I don't know. I believe in vampires, shapeshifters. I'm like, what's going on here? These people are drinking adrenochrome and living forever.
100%.
I think there's lizard people. I'm like, I can't be a witch, but they can fucking be a vampire.
I've sure seen shapeshifter. For sure. I mean, I've witnessed that. So, and when I talk about it, like, I know the word that we keep using here is the woo-woo word, but everything that I was told was woo-woo, or that I literally would bet anything a year ago or 2 years ago and say that's not a thing or no fucking way. Now I'm just like, that shit's real. A year ago, there's no way I would have said, 2 years ago, like, shapeshifting's not a thing. That's, that's out there. That's in a different realm. That's, people seeing what they want to see, but it wasn't anything that I was trying to see. And yet there it is. And I feel that, there's such a huge, powerful energy. And the more that I see, too, the stuff that you post about, like, the metals, it so intrigues me. All of that makes perfect sense. And the whole, the spells on things and the sorcery behind things and them. I mean, we've been saying this all along, them utilizing things in our environment and what they're putting inside of us to keep us controlled. And I hadn't even considered the way that you worded that right now. I mean, it makes... It makes legitimate sense. Totally.
Totally.
Yeah.
Even this is casting. Like, everything, like, we're all into Hollywood casting. This is casting. And I even realized for myself, like, shit, like, maybe I needed to put more shit in my brain for a little bit. Like I didn't treat it. Like I think if I would have protected myself, like I was casting and doing magic, it would have been a different thing. But I didn't. It was like, it still felt, you know, you don't even realize when you get off air sometimes. You're like, holy shit. Like, because you're doing magic. You're like taking energy and relaying it from all the people in your life and then letting it come out of your mouth. Yeah, I think we have to start treating our, like, it's something I'm trying to, like, you're magic. You're magic. You're magic. It's almost so much better than you're rich, you look good. I don't know, whatever weird stuff people affirm themselves with, but
that's
magic seems pretty dope.
That's a great mantra. Yeah, you're magic. I'm magic.
I deal with being magic. I like it.
Yeah, you just blew my mind there. Like the whole idea, I've never heard that or made that connection. Casting, right? When you're casting a movie, right? Or the cast of a movie, casting spells, right? Whoa, dude.
Casting metal.
Okay.
Everything the truth is in plain sight. So I just think it's so funny. We think these demons are eating kids, but for what end? What end are they doing this for? It's not just to get high. It's not just the biggest drug on the planet. Like these secret societies and cults, they've been hidden forever, and they only allow the books to get through that fit the narrative. Not everyone has to be bad to somehow fit the narrative. Right. And so they only let us know about certain religions. Like we know the Catholic Church is this, like what it is right now. And you can point out all the evil symbology in the Catholic Church, but nobody ever talks about that the Catholic Church is really just the Protestants and the pagans won, but they knew the Catholic people would never fall for it. So they took all their symbology and moved into the Catholic Church. So what we know now is the Catholic Church is really Protestant and pagan. So then we have to peel that back. Or people talk about like Hermetic law or Rosicrucian or Masonic, but all that goes back to Kemet and like ancient Egyptian stuff. So it's like the more you peel back, it makes me crazy that silver is worth less than gold. It's the most conductive metal. So it's like, I believe them on the stock exchange until they're like, here, we'll give you all of our gold for all your silver. And I'm like, sure, you say it's worth more, just change. Like, it's just, to me, conductivity is everything. Like it should be everything. So neither of them rust. And there's a lot, like nickel doesn't do it either. So it's like if they need it for all their computers and it's in all the wires, and you hear people talk about Tesla energy and stuff too, that's not good enough for me. Like I have to still stab something. I just think the energy's everywhere. Yeah. I just think it's everywhere. Yeah. I don't know.
You're so right.
I just think everything is a psyop. I think 5G is bullshit. I think pay attention to 5G. It's anything you know about that the news is like, next at 3:00, we're going to talk about 5G. Not real.
Not real.
Right. Of course.
Exactly. And it's just the whole inversion. I mean, just every single tiny little detail of it. It's all an inversion, man. Like just the whole way they treated Trump the whole time. It's all an inversion. You're blaming him for what you're doing. Like literally, dude. Like every single tiny piece of it. That's the whole scam. That's the whole scam.
Rules for radicals.
Yeah, I was just talking about that the other night. Yeah.
So just to back up a little bit to some things you said earlier, I was doing some prep work for our guest that didn't show up tonight, and he had some interesting theories about Trump and about him still being the president as well, and just how he is the president of the original Constitution, whereas the Biden or whoever that is, it would be the president. The president of the 1871, the Act of 1871, the Constitution. Is it the for or the of? I think the for was the first one, and the of is the later one that came. And the President Trump, one thing they said is that he still has Air Force One, so that's a real interesting piece.
I've heard
I don't know if you guys heard that, but. Yeah, real interesting. So, and you got to see him speak. So, what was that like?
It was magic. That day was magic.
Sure.
That day I totally believe was all magic. The whole day was so ridiculous. I felt like that day was like I was on drugs. It was insane. It was like filled with love. I felt like maybe I met an alien that day. It was like literally the weirdest day of my whole life. I had the friend I ended up going with, I told everyone, let's all go to DC. And then I got this feeling like, it's not going to be good. Like I knew it wasn't going to be good. And I told my wife last minute that I didn't want her to go. And the only friend I like kind of allowed to go with me. I felt like she was a lady who could take care of herself. That I'm like, if I'm getting raped, you're getting raped. I mean, we're in it together, but I didn't want to have to worry about my wife. So I was like, I mean, sorry, like for ladies, it's like any situation that I'm like, oh, where's the worst place I'm going to put myself in? Guess we're getting raped.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
true.
But it was so magical. The whole time she just kind of let me go. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I had to do. I did weird stuff. Like I felt like I had to like touch the Washington Monument. Like I just had weird things that I was like relying on my weird witchy gut instincts. I don't know what was going on, but she just kind of let me go. She didn't ever like, are you really walking all the way back to do that? Like she never did that, which I totally would have done to people in my life. But she just kind of let me be, even to like, when I'm like, I think I'm going to go inside. She was like, I didn't tell her inside. I said, I think I'm going to go up there. Mm-hmm. And she was like, okay, I'll be here. Like she just let me do it. And I don't think any other girls in my life would have let me do that. I think there would have been a couple of dudes in my life that would have been like, let's do it. Like, but a couple of dudes in my life would have been like, you're not coming.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy, man. And then what is, it's just so frustrating, man. Like, what do we do? I mean,
that whole shaman, I have to say, for anyone who thinks that whole QAnon shaman, he has nothing to do with QAnon. No QAnon people care about that QAnon shaman. That guy, I don't even know if he was there the same day as us. Some people say he was. I think he was there maybe the day before because it looked too sunny inside with the pictures that he was.
I heard him interviewed on InfoWars, or at least somebody claiming to be him on InfoWars, right? And like Alex was giving it to him hard. Like just saying you're fucking full of shit, just like tearing him apart, dude, and like, but he was claiming very much to be Q,
Who is it?
That's where the whole Q shaman thing came from. I think they coined it on InfoWars with Alex Jones. He was saying like, I am the Q shaman and blah blah blah. So it was crazy.
Like somebody came forward and claimed that.
Yeah.
They're trying. This is what I believe they tried to do that day. The storm is a military operation that involves a whole bunch of people that are all out and about all the time. General Flynn is like the head of it with Donald Trump. And that's the storm. It's the name of an operation. So the storm coming is a team. So we even have video proof of them being like, Mr. President, what's the storm? And he's like, you'll find out. Wow. And it's so great. And he's standing there with this whole bunch of people. And this is maybe 2 years ago at this point. And so what I think the bad guys tried to do, because we're, like in a game, the bad guys, they were going to set up all the QAnons because we've been posting for 3 years, even though you would never know it because they've taken everybody's account offline again and again and again. So we have nothing to prove all the work we've done, that we've told you guys this before. We told you guys all this was going to happen. We have nothing to prove. They like took all of our validity every time they deleted our accounts. So what they tried to do was they were going to save all this. The storm's coming. The storm's here. What a beautiful black sky. Because we always tweet that to each other. What a beautiful black sky. Oh, it's stormy day. Yeah. They were going to take all that and call this incident that they created with Antifa and this shaman bullshit. They were calling it that we stormed the castle. So they were going to use all the old shit that we had posted before about the military operation and say we planned to storm this thing. What you guys saw was supposed to be so much fucking worse.
Oh, exactly.
We would have shown, Trump went on an hour late. And so we didn't get down there on time. If we would, everybody, and you could see the Antifa speckle out of the crowd and try to create the sheep effect of everybody just walking away. But I think any other person speaking would have lost their crowd because it was fucking so cold out there, you guys. It was brutal cold. But not Donald Trump. Donald Trump's not going to lose his crowd. So he went on late purposefully and kept everybody there late. So all the smoke grenades and bullshit that you guys saw, that was a playhouse. Yes, we all got tear gassed. And people did get hurt. Like there was, but I think a lot of the like Anons and like maybe even Proud Boys and shit, there was a lot of people that were really pushing the cops away from the crowd in a way so they didn't get hurt. Because there was Antifa and everybody knew they were mixed in with us. Yeah. So it was kind of, they were seriously selling. Like I got on my way there, I bought this for $10. It was so cold. I never wear Trump shit. I was accidental Antifa. That's why I think they sold this to me. I was just like, doo-doo-doo, walking up, and they're like, oh, this bitch, she's on our side. Here's a uniform, and they'll let you right into the castle. Wow. And so I just felt like the whole way, you didn't have to break anything. Everywhere I walked, someone was like, here, free tours. Here's the door. And I was just like, it felt like a drug trip. Wow. So it was just like, yeah, and I walked out of it while cops were twirling up it. I just walked right out of the center. I never went inside or did anything. I'm glad I didn't. It's like, you know, if I'm glad I wasn't in LA longer. So someone wasn't like, you want to try this adrenochrome? And I'd be like, sure, what's that?
Oh, man.
Like, why not, dude?
I try it. Where did this come from? I'm like Johnny Depp and Fear and Loathing. All of a sudden.
Oh, man.
Hunter S. Thompson. Some spooky shit around him. Allegations, right? Yeah, man.
I think they killed him too.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
He's creepy, and they killed him.
Yeah, I think what was it? Paul Bonacci was the one, you know, right from the. I think he was connected with the Franklin scandal, that whole thing. Anyway, Johnny Gosh, right, all that stuff. So I think he came out saying about Hunter S. Thompson, you know, was filming some of these incidences or these like underground parties and stuff. Like, what the hell, dude? Anyway.
And the Finders. I think that Adam Walsh's dad is creepy. The guy that does America's Most Wanted. Yeah. I think all these, it's like these incidences that have we've been groomed as a society. Like as a whole society, our school started talking about sex too early. Yep. Like everything was sex. Like they just wanted to
make it be normal right away and make it not be anything that was special and not anything that was to be considered in depth. Like they just completely made it be so commonplace as if, I mean, that's part of the issue with it. Really. I mean, and younger, like there needs to be, it's like with anything in life, you're presented with things when you're at an age and maturity and a place of application or understanding and processing. That's why when kids are learning how to read in school, we don't give them 9th grade curriculum when they're in 3rd because they can't comprehend it. They have no way to apply the meaning from that book. And so that is part of the corrupting, I think, of our youth, is bringing that. It is such a corruptible way to have them be lost to the world and to have them be victimized, be normal. I mean, in my life as a child, I was definitely, many times over for years sexually abused. So it becomes very normal though if they talk about it like this is what everybody does and this is okay, and they show it, you know, on our curriculum, they show it on the screens, and you know everybody in your community talks about how this is okay or that's okay, and it's just constantly in your face. It's not something that a 5-year-old or a 9-year-old is. That's not their focus. That's not anything they need to be exposed to. But that is exactly what they've done. All the way down in some states, they're trying to force it into preschool learning, and it pisses me off really.
I guess. Well, it's Santa Claus. What do? You bring your kid to a strange man and let him sit on his lap type of thing. No. Like it's like a grooming of us. Like it's like we're all worried about what was that Cuties or whatever, that bikini show. Remember that weird show that came out on Netflix?
The reason why we got rid of Netflix. Yes.
And everybody. So they got to have that show, but right next to it is like Bert Kreischer's The Cabin with his asshole and balls in the very first scene. That's grooming. When people don't see, it's like, just because we laugh at it doesn't mean it's not real. And then every boy band and every it's little girls screaming at grown men.
Yes.
It's like they just do really something creepy to us by like dressing up these adults and giving them to children, like the Wiggles. So your young children have grown men. That Mr. Rogers, that guy is so creepy, dude. Everything about the symbology of Mr. Rogers is so creepy. And if Tom Hanks played you in a movie, Hundy, you're creepy. 100, you're creepy if Tom Hanks played you.
Oh, man. Even the guy
an owl and a clock and a key. Yeah. I'm like, I can't with Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
I had never considered Mr. Rogers. I'm going to have to go home and be demoralized down a new rabbit hole.
Really, I'm just a Tom Hanks hater. It's like I can connect every conspiracy to Tom Hanks. So.
I used to be so big. I used to love Tom Hanks so much. And then all of a sudden I was awakened. I'm like, oh my, I can't even. It's gotten to the point where I've talked about all the bad guys so often that like, like every once in a while I'll tell my kids, we're going to do a family movie, so we get on whatever and we're like scrolling to like choose. And we'll scroll by movies and my kids are like, Mom, isn't that a bad guy? Didn't you say that guy hurts kids? Mom, isn't that the bad guy? Like they're starting to recognize these faces. I'm like, yeah, we're going to skip that fucking movie. Just keep going. So
I know. It's like, I know. Entertainment's so hard to find now. I've been watching the OA. That's been really...
I love the OA. OA is like my favorite show ever.
What is that on?
So great.
That's what I think we're doing.
Yeah,
I think...
Totally.
I don't even want to... I haven't seen season 2 yet, but I geek out with somebody who loves all of it, and she thinks we're the 3rd season of the OA.
Ooh, what is this? What is this?
What is it on?
It's Netflix.
Oh.
But it's my favorite show.
What's it stand for? OA?
I watch it on
The
Cody.
Original Angel.
What is it? What are you watching?
Cody. I stream it illegally, allegedly.
Cody?
Allegedly. Cody. Allegedly? We'll look into it.
Just like a domestic terrorist.
We gotta talk
Listen
again
to you.
after you are in season 2, because season 2 is fantastic. Season 2 is better than the first season, if you can believe that.
I love it because I feel like I'm starting to separate my people by who like season 1 or season 2 more.
Oh.
Like I can tell like, okay, we can have this conversation. Like the season 2 people all seem to be on a heady place that I'm like, okay, I like how weird you are.
Well, now we got to do
Now
this.
I'm going to definitely have to watch it.
Truthzilla
I'll message
movie
you
night.
later and let you know which season I...
Yeah, totally.
Truthzilla movie
I'm
night.
only on like the 3rd or 4th one because it's like one of the shows that the whole house seems to like. So I'm like, oh, and I'll watch something like I'll get on it because I have insomnia. So I'll watch, one whole season in a night or 2 and then be like, I can't wait till you catch up. I can't wait till you catch up.
Yeah.
That's what I need to be doing
It's
when I can't
weird.
sleep at night, Chaney. I need to get on, and that way the next day I can message you, be like, all right, I just fucking made it through to season 1. Let's talk.
No, the OA. It's so crazy. It's such a weird, and it takes the whole by the end of the first episode, you're like, okay, I gotta watch the second episode.
Sure.
But the first episode, the whole time you're like, what the is happening?
Totally.
Like
Man.
it's so tedious. And I feel like I tried to watch it more than once that I couldn't start it, but enough people that I respected were like, try it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try the OA. But I like it.
So
yeah.
I just was to suffer through the first episode.
Well, once we get them on board, we can all do the movements together. So,
Oh, wow. There's movements. Is it choreographed routine or something?
well, you
I
have
see.
to
I'm not
watch.
even that far yet. I'm still sitting crisscross applesauce like the beginning, and
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even in the I don't want to give any of it away.
Okay.
It's
Totally.
such a
Totally.
weird.
What
I'm
the hell?
super intrigued now.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, we got to learn a new dance routine. I already don't have enough time,
Well,
guys. Like, we have to.
I thought I was gonna
When you
go
find out what the movements can do for you, you'll do it.
Okay.
I thought I was going to go home and go down the Athos Outdoor Prospector until like 3 or 4 in the morning when I normally finally can doze off. But now I see that my night is laid out differently. And thank goodness, because if I have to watch him dig one more house and down into the dirt, I love it. I get sucked down those rabbit holes, but I needed something new. So
There you
I
go.
know, that's totally. I'm like jungle survival.
Yeah.
But then it changes my whole. I'm like, oh my gosh. Even my wife was like, what if they just carved the pyramids into the ground? Like, what if the ground was just flat and they just carved the pyramids out of them? And I'm like, I never even thought about that.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Or what if they were just mountains that they carved, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, or hills or mounds or something
Sure.
like that.
that's an interesting perspective.
Yeah, and then all the sand around it would just be, and then
Yeah.
it would make more sense why it would never collapse and they could go inside of it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow. That's crazy.
But it's from watching that show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The OA.
The OA.
Yeah.
The OA. Wow.
Now I
No,
wanna
not
watch
the
it
OA.
again.
That jungle
Oh.
survival.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
from watching that. It's from watching
Yeah.
that she thought it. And she humors me, but that time I was pretty like, oh, that was thinking outside the box. You got me
Yeah.
on that one. I might be on like a dig later. Like, are there any other structures around the planet that look like this?
Wow. Interesting.
Wow.
Holy crap. Man. Well, I got to say, we've had a few people like comment on a few of our episodes. I think we were talking about you or something. And then like somebody in the comments was like, oh yeah, Chaney, love Chaney or something, man. So I don't know.
I messaged
Yeah,
you
yeah.
that day, and I was
Yeah.
like, people are commenting,
commenting on you,
commenting,
you know?
asking about Chaney.
Yeah,
so.
just hoping everything's all right, you know? So there's people listening. People.
That's sweet.
People paying
I know.
attention.
I just kind of disappeared, like kind of douchey.
It's all right.
You got to take care of yourself. You got to do what you got to do.
Totally. You care to comment on what happened at all? Then we can edit it out if not.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing next, but I don't think I was supposed to be doing that anymore. And I think I kind of felt it for a few leading up to it. And then it was just in my whole real life of the emotions that I went through over the period of a week. I just felt like I maybe knew I needed kid gloves for a period of time and knew it wasn't going to be done for me, but I just put myself in the situation again and again. And I'm such a Scorpio. So it's like once it's done, I'm like, I'm done. Like I just fell out of love. Yeah. So it was like, I don't know. It was too much. I didn't do everything great. I definitely didn't have all the words even then, but it is what it is. I wish it well, and I'm not saying that I won't ever visit as a guest, but I just felt like it wasn't my dinner party anymore.
Yeah. Well, you got big things in store. I know, like the whole community is just like, dude, Chaney,
definitely,
dude.
For sure.
We freaking love the heck out of you.
Yes.
You've been one of our biggest supporters the whole time, man. And so it's just like, a lot of gratitude.
I love you guys.
Yeah,
I love you guys. I like that. I kind of like that the angle you take on everything, and that you're all. So many shows are a bunch of know-it-all truthers sitting around knowing it all, and everybody because of what they know and thinking they know it all, they're so refusing to listen to anyone's idea. And I just think everybody has a piece of it, but everybody's mind will really be blown at the truth of it. So if you sit there in some place that you think you're all on the right side, you're just doing yourself a disservice. And I think everybody, I don't know, I think the energy is more important than people think. And like sitting in a place of knowing that we win, knowing that like we're a part of some kind of source energy that's bigger than all of this, and knowing that we win, we always win. It's like, it's hard to hold on to. And I think people even it burns them up, and it's the QAnon thing of hold the line, but it's like a spiritual thing of holding the line. It's like, fuck, man. I think people are like closer to the brink of whatever dark is personally in their lives. Sorry for my dog.
That's all good.
Than like ever before. And I think it's just, I don't know. It's a place that people really need to be vulnerable and be there for other people. And nobody knows how to communicate at all anymore. Like communication has become a lost thing because everybody's trapped away from each other. And we're in these Zoom meetings and, it's like new life is a Zoom meeting. So I think that you have to like feel people's hearts, like real hearts in a room, like what you guys get to actually sit in a fucking room together. That's everything. I think you need to see people's like fidgets and see if they get flushed in the face. And I don't know, I think everything matters, and we're being forced into this computerized world and we're losing our humanity.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. And at a younger and younger age, and now they got the kids on this thing, and now they're already getting they're just starting off at like as a toddler or whatever it is, I don't know, kindergarten, first time you go on a Zoom as a kid, whatever, I don't know, like they're already scraping your data. Now they're just going to have a much more robust digital avatar of whoever this next generation of people is, you know what I mean? It's so insane. Yeah. Wow.
What if the computer isn't like, it's just another one of those fears, like, the flat earther kids, they'll get all and say like atomic bombs aren't real. Like, how do we know atomic bombs are real, or just not another thing to like what was the difference of atomic bombs then and the coronavirus now? Bombs are real. Is an atomic bomb real? I don't know. Like, we know a cold's real. Is coronavirus real? I don't know. But it adds all this extra fear and devastation and things. And so I just feel like, is supercomputing and all this real, or are we the supercomputer? Like, do we do every single thing the phone does? We do everything. Like, I don't even know how to find my way to my mom's anymore without the phone. Be like, turn left here. But I used to know my way everywhere. I could drive cross country without my phone and not even think twice about it. Yeah. So it's like they're fearing us off our natural powers. And we can see it in our lifetime. Like, you used to be able to remember how many phone numbers in your head.
Oh,
and now
man.
you don't even know your own.
I still know my childhood household phone number, right? And it's like, whoa, dude. Don't even know
I always
anybody.
say that's the number. Don't tell it. That's the one number you got to tell your siblings that they know you're not a clone or a robot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally.
I usually had I used to have like one phone number memorized in case I went to jail again, then I would be able to call somebody. But luckily I don't have to live like
You
that
call your
anymore.
childhood phone number.
Yeah, luckily I don't have to live like that anymore. So, man, it's all about the energy, folks.
Yeah,
Don't you
definitely.
forget it, man.
Totally,
What kind of
totally.
energy are you putting out there today, folks? Think
What are you
about
casting?
it. Okay, yeah, what are you casting? What are you casting?
Yeah.
Man, awesome. Well, any last thoughts? What do you guys think?
I'm so happy to see your face.
Yeah?
I'm so glad we got to
Yeah.
have a chance to talk.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I loved everything you had to say, Chaney, and it's so good to hear your take on it because,
It's refreshing,
Yeah.
you know? Like
Refreshing,
I lose
yeah.
track of all that stuff, so I get caught up and I got to remember to take it back a little bit. It's all about the energy, dude. Super eat, It's
I know. It is a lot. It's like we're talking about kids in tunnels or human trafficking, or we think people are drinking blood, or we legitimately, even if you don't want to get down with conspiracies, they try to impeach a guy for no reason. They tried to impeach him again while he was a private citizen, and they stole our election, and no one cares. So it's like, I don't know. I do think a lot of people care, a lot more than half the country care.
Sure.
We just can't give up. Like, yeah, so what? It's not normal and things look so weird, but we don't have to stop fighting. Like, we can take over every single office in this fucking country, and we don't have to vote either of these two people in anymore.
Yeah.
Like, if it's all like lawyers know Latin, they are doing spells. You have to learn that. Everybody, I keep saying it over and over again. People are like, oh, what's going on with whatever stupid thing it's what shape is the earth? You don't even know the constitution of your state. Why are you wasting time on this? Like, there's just little things that I'm like, do you want to play time? Do you want to know if you just want to play video games and talk about Agartha, that's cool too. I love fun stuff and I love those crazy conversations. I want to actually talk about magic. I think it's real. We have to learn the symbology and learn what they're using it against us.
Yeah.
But I think people have to know exactly what's happening and that they have power. A mandate isn't a law. Right. Like, your constitution matters. Your constitution is the closest thing to a sovereign bill of rights that exists anywhere ever on the entire planet. It's one of the best written things ever. Mm-hmm. So I think people need to look at that spell and realize it matters. And standing up, when you take a pledge of allegiance, you're attaching to your highest self. When you put your hand on your heart, you're attaching to an oath of the highest self. When you take a knee, you're taking a knee for the God set. Literally, reset is no justice, no peace. You're conjuring a God. Look I'm Brother Larry Gators for you guys right now.
Love it. Fill them in.
So great.
Awesome. Love it. Woo-wee. Wow. Well, shoot, Chaney, do you want to shout out any of your social media or anything?
I don't even know what my social media is called anymore, but
all right,
plug
anything.
I love everyone. I love you guys, and I love the whole Truther community. And I think everybody needs to start thinking am I magic? Am I? Yes, I am. I always knew this. I knew this.
Yeah.
So I start small. Ask yourself a crazy question. In the fourth dimension, do you ride a dragon? Do you ride a phoenix? Do you just have a little pocket pet, little white monkey that sits on your shoulder? What color are your wings? What is your superpower? Are you invisible? Can you read people's minds? I think you have to start thinking like a kid with that imagination again to really make this world ours again. Yeah. We have to think outside of this. They've set a false duality for us. They've told us black is this side, white is this side. We just believe them. We just believe that's the other side of everything. This is Democrat, this is Republican, this is Coke, this is Pepsi. We just believe them. Every single thing in our life is just a belief. It's the same as the dollar bill. It's just a piece of paper, but we believe it between us that it's worth something. That's everything is the belief. So Anyways.
Love it.
I think you guys are fucking magic.
Oh, you're magic,
You're
Chaney.
magic, Chaney.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to go home and put magic all over my kids now. I love that we had this conversation.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Awesome. All right, Chaney. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chaney.
All right.
Thank you. XO.
All right, everybody. Well, that was our wonderful friend Chaney showing up to visit with us tonight. We really, really respect and love her. She gave us some rabbit holes to go delving into later tonight.
Casting
so I'm
magic.
anxious to get home and get cozy under my.
You guys have to watch the OA
covers
too.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. That's
it's
one
my
of them.
favorite show
That's
ever,
one
so.
of them.
Yeah.
Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for your encouragement and support for sitting with us yet again. I am Megan, sitting here with Scott and Ed, and we wish all of you intellectual prosperity. Good night.
Magical pew 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 pew.
Ding.